It's Nuke The Props, Holden, Tyler. What's up, big man? We got some fun Sunday football, NFL Week 5. We'll discuss our Thursday Night Football bet or bets at the end of the show for those of you that are watching for our Sunday and maybe even a Monday play here. What's going on, pal? How was last week for you?
Oh, last week was good. I mean, Matthew Golden looked great. Started the game, got us the deep ball. The only thing that got a little dicey was he went backwards on that one pass.
Yeah.
He didn't get below the number, but he got very close to it, and then he caught the next ball, so we didn't have to worry about it. But it was nice to get that one done basically in the first quarter.
I mean, that was amazing. It's like, oh, yeah, we're going to get to 246 yards. Catch the 46-yarder, goes backwards for 7, goes backwards for another 3. At least he got us the number, right? That I can be happy about. So we got the big bet home on that one. I dropped the JSN yards. I hit the JSN longest reception. And I think ultimately I was down 0.3 units. I've had 2 losing weeks out of 4. They've both been less than half unit losses. I'm up a little bit over 3 units so far in the season. I'm feeling great about these picks too. So let's get right into it, buddy. We got to go to the Miami Dolphins, huh? The Dolphins, we say. Now, Devon Achane is in a pretty good spot. It's because they're playing the Carolina Panthers. Nobody gives up more explosive plays than the Carolina Panthers, my friend. I don't blame you for going to this whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, Achane's rushing yard, 68.5. It doesn't seem really low, but it seems like it's very obtainable here. No Tyreek Hill. So you got to think they want to put the ball in their best playmaker's hand. They don't have that safety valve now when Tua drops back to just whip him the ball. I think they want to run the ball more now. So I think you're going to see more Achane, more Gordon. What better spot than when you're playing the Panthers, who give up all these explosive plays?
Yep.
They give up about 130 rushing yards per game. And we just like we said with the big plays, he's a guy that can explode for a 90-yard run if he finds space. And looking at it, I seen 68 on MGM. FanDuel's hanging a 63.
Ooh. So it's Rivers.
I think it's latter Achane season. I think he's going to have the big game here.
Yeah, when you said 68.5, I was like, what the hell is this guy talking about? We can get this at 63.5. Yeah, 63.5 is where they open it. MGM opened it at 67.5. It got bet up to 68.5. So it's kind of interesting that we could still get it at 63.5 as we tape here on late Thursday afternoon. I think that's very, very interesting. So the Achane, you like the rushing? What about the receiving? Anything?
I would lean more towards the rushing. Could he get the receiving yards at 37.5? Yes. But I think that with Carolina's rush defense being so bad, they just simplify the offense. They don't have Tua doing all these play actions, looking downfield or anything. And it's more just so get the ball in his hands and let him go to work. And you see even these passes that they're throwing behind the line of scrimmage, they're categorizing them as runs now. So he could throw on one of these little backward screens, and that counts as rushing yards. So I would rather be on the rushing yards in this spot against a bad rush defense.
So I'm going to give you a little same game parlay that I have not parlayed, but I'm going with 2 receivers from it. And it would make sense that I'll go with the same game parlay. And this is coming from a guy that used to bet unders, but being under Keg's tutelage, kind of learn to bet overs. And then you try and think of how high you can ladder a guy, right? Well, this week, Garrett Wilson, who cashed for us, backdoor cashed for us on Monday Night Football, he faces the worst pass defense in the league. It's the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys are the only team to give up more than 1,200 passing yards this year, and they are last in EPA against the pass. The New York Jets are 30th in EPA against the pass. That's not good either. So you saw what the target share went to George Pickens with CeeDee Lamb gone. The first thing people think of, what is the first thing you think of when you think of Pickens?
Oh, not me personally, because I had to deal with him in Pittsburgh.
As a person.
Trying to tiptoe down the sideline and catch these miraculous passes.
See, I think of him as a head case. And then I think of him as, if not the best athlete at wide receiver, right there. I mean, you just see spectacular stuff out of this guy. He has taken over the CeeDee Lamb role, and I'm looking to ladder this dude probably up to 90 this week. 65.5 minus 110 to the over at BetMGM for George Pickens against a Jets secondary that is 30th in the NFL against the pass. And now the number 1 wide receiver in Dallas showed up last week. That got him the ball a ton. This is a, at best, middling receiving core when you're even talking about the backfield, the tight ends, the wide receivers, the one guy that could break a game, George Pickens. So Pickens over 65.5. Then you go in the same game. And Garrett Wilson at 61.5 minus 111. Remember when the Cowboys and the Bears were going at it, and you and I were like, Roma Dunze, we got to go Roma Dunze. Well, I personally think Garrett Wilson is even a better version of Roma Dunze.
Yes. Totally agree on that.
Have Justin Fields throwing on the ball, but we're talking about explosive plays. And I was looking up teams that give up the most explosive plays in the passing game, and we got two of them right here. So the double shebang for you will be Garrett Wilson over 61.5, minus 111 on DK. Pickens over 65.5, minus 110 on MGM. I'm thinking about laddering both these guys. I haven't gotten there yet. I do want to dig in a little bit more on both of them, but I can definitely see myself throwing Pickens up to 100 and Wilson up probably to about 80. And maybe I only stick to 90 on Pickens, but I think Pickens goes nuts this week, Tyler.
No, I think that could be a big game. I think that could be a shootout game where you just don't see a bunch of points coming because it's got the Jets logo on it. I think it's going to be lower scoring, but Fields is running on that defense. He's able to get Garrett Wilson the ball because Garrett Wilson is going to be wide open. And on the other side, Dak should be able to put up points too. So I don't hate that call.
Yeah, it's to me, these just stood out. And I'm like, it's way too low. These guys should be up there in the 70s. And they're not going to put them in the 70s, but their line should be at the least 69.5. And Pickens should probably be in the low 70s. I would even put Wilson in the mid 70s at this point. So he just has the most beautiful matchup in the history of the world. All right. You gave us the Achane. Now give us the Hampton.
Yeah, I went with Hampton's rushing yards also. That one's coming in at about 64.5. Maybe you could chop around, get a better number. That was MGM's opening, and we've seen that wasn't a good number on Achane. So shop that one. But I just think that the Chargers without Alt now are going to revert back to just running the ball. I don't think Herbert's going to get a lot of time to stand back there and be this high pass percentage quarterback he's been for the first couple weeks. Last week, losing Alt was big, and you were playing probably the scariest defensive line in the league, let's be honest, with those four guys. So now you get a refresher here against Washington, whose defensive line is nowhere near as good as the Giants. And Hampton was able to have a big game against the Giants. So I think he can crush this number against the Commanders. They probably give him 15 to 20 carries. He might clear 100 yards again and get in the end zone. So I think 60s is a little low for Hampton, who doesn't have a backup right now, let's be honest.
He doesn't have a back. Not only does he not have a backup, the matchup's kind of nice, right?
Yeah, there's a body back there, but it's not good. There's no talent to it. I think it's like a Son Haskins or Kamani Vidal.
I want to go back to my play real quick. I forgot to mention that for Pickens, the Jets have the highest explosive pass rate against, which means they've given up the most explosive pass plays this season, which makes me want Pickens even more. And then I'm going to go back to the guy that cashed for us last week, and that's going to be JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba again. I think I'm just going to have to bet this until it doesn't work. Now, we came up short on his yards last week, but we did hit the longest reception of 25.5, and that this week is minus 118 at BetMGM. And JSN is taking on the Bucs, and I don't care who he's taking on. He could be taking on, besides for the 85 Bears and that great Ray Lewis defense, I kind of feel like I feel comfortable with JSN in just about any setting at this point. Tampa Bay has given up their share of big plays, no doubt, but we're just looking at the athlete here, and he goes for 36. He's going for 45. He's going for 50 yards on his longest reception. I don't even feel like I need to go deep into this. If you watched the show last week, I laid it out well. I'll say it again. JSN over 25.5 longest reception, minus 118. We're going to hit it until we can't hit it anymore. And I don't know why they didn't go up. It should have gone up.
Totally agree with you. I mean, he's a deep threat, and he's one of the better receivers in the league. And he's playing Tampa Bay, whose secondary isn't all that good. So back at home in the stadium, they get extra rest because didn't they play on Thursday in their last game?
Yeah, it was a long rest.
They had a very long rest. So yeah, this team's going to be ready to go. And I think that they beat up on Tampa Bay. So I think he has a big game. And normally he catches one for like 30 to 40 yards. So keep betting it until it goes up.
I'm all about explosive play rate now. I found this a couple weeks ago, and now I'm starting to get the hang of it a little bit. And we've got the Browns and the Vikings. I don't know how many people are interested in this game, to be honest with you, but I look at the explosive run rate here for Minnesota. It's at 11%. That is the 12th worst in the league. And then I look at a guy in Quinshon Judkins who is just going absolutely nuts. Now, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to say this guy's name very correctly very often. To be perfectly honest with you, Tyler, I'm not Quinshon. There's something about it. Quinshon Judkins, which is getting there. I got the optimizer saying this guy's going for 78, 79 yards, and he's got a matchup against Minnesota here. They have been yielding some yards. And then you look at what Judkins has done. And last week at Detroit, right? He still goes for 82 yards. He had 4 receptions. I'm not gonna target him there, but his snap rate, his touch rate, everything is just elite. And they're just not going away from him. They're starting the rookie Gabriel this week for the Browns. So I feel just as confident about this one as any of them. Quinshon Judkins over 70.5 minus 113 at Bet Rivers. Again, I can't imagine Gabriel is going to go out there and throw the ball 35 times. If it's a negative game script, fine. But Judkins is the real deal. And yes, he's a piece of garbage. Hit a woman. That's what he took a long time to get into camp. But we're about making money here. I didn't like Tyreek Hill. I don't like Judkins either. Yeah. But I think he goes over this number, and I feel pretty strongly about it. Over 70.5 yards, minus 113, where we saw him around 74.5 the rest of the books. Judkins over 70.5, put it in the bank. And I know you really didn't look into Judkins or not, but I recommend you do so after this because he's just popping, dude.
Yeah, I mean, off the field stuff aside, when everyone talked about this running back class coming out, everyone trying to kind of put Gentry in a tier of his own, then everyone started to realize Hampton was probably a little closer. There was really a three-man race, and Judkins was the third name in that race. Everyone loved the darling in New England, Travion Henderson, who can't buy a snap right now. Judkins is the real deal. Character aside, off the field stuff aside, the dude's the real deal on the football field. My worry about the bet is there's a trash can playing quarterback this week.
Is he worse than Joe Flacco?
Yes, sure. I think so.
Dylan Gabriel is worse than Joe Flacco?
I think Dylan Gabriel is legit Desmond Ridder with a different name.
Wow.
I think he stinks. I think a whole quarterback room stinks. Just give Shador a shot.
That's amazing. Well, it sucks because Flacco's been an anchor of the interception props, and he's gone now. And I wouldn't be surprised if Gabriel threw a pick this week. But, I mean, Flacco is as bad as anybody we've seen this year.
Yeah.
And
this is also going to take away the Fannin, the Njokus of the world. Isaiah Bond was starting to come on with Flacco. They hung a low number on him this week. Can't bet it because who knows what Dylan Gabriel is going to look like at quarterback. So, I think you're on the right track, though. If you're going to bet this game on the Brown side, just bet Judkins.
I mean,
you can't mess up handing him the ball.
That's what it is. They're just going to have to hand this. He's going to have to be the offense. And if Gabriel ends up impressing and has a good game, well, then he'll have even more opportunities for some holes. I mean, maybe they do just throw everybody in the box, but it's not like they weren't doing that against Flacco already. So Judkins is my guy here. Let's go. Let's go over his number. So
I got another one I found.
Oh, let's go. I didn't hear you had another one. Let's go. You're surprising me.
I mean, we like Narrative Street. Narrative Street worked last week.
Okay.
We know who else loves Narrative Street as a head coach, and that's Dan Campbell.
Hold on. I'm trying to guess here. The Narrative Street for Dan Campbell. Can I get a hint besides Dan Campbell?
One of his skill players is back in their hometown with a very low number. He just rushed all over a different AFC North team.
I mean, it's not Montgomery, is it?
It is Montgomery. Against Cincinnati back in his hometown, Holden, he took 9 carries for 12 yards against Cleveland. Mm-hmm. Don't care. Cleveland's one of the best rush defenses in the league. Week before that, 12 carries for 151 yards, and then 11 carries for 57, 11 carries for 25. The 25 yards came against Green Bay. 2 of the top 5 defenses in the league contained him. The other ones let him get to 50 yards. Now he's going to play Cincinnati, and we know Detroit will crush a can when they come to town. They will beat up on a team. And once they're up, Dan Campbell likes to go with narratives and get his guys in the end zone or get his guys his yards. If he's going to get 9 to 12 carries here, 49.5 on his yards is a little too low.
Well, I just went to the optimizer, and I don't listen. This is just kind of the starting point for me, right? I'm like, all right, are we within 10 yards of one way or the other? If we're more than 10 yards, maybe I don't even need to look at it. If the sweet spot seems to be between like 4 and 7 yards. I mean, this guy is projected at 66. His number is 49.5. So maybe something is wonky that makes me step back a little bit. But then you look at the number and say 49.5 minus 110 at BetMGM. Tyler, this is a look.
Yeah, this is a bet. This is a bet. I will probably find a way onto his touchdown, maybe pair it with the money line, maybe take a 2 touchdown here too. I think it's just a big David Montgomery game, especially if they run away with this game early. They're like, Gibbs, you're good. Take a seat, rest your legs. He's back in his hometown. Let's let the kid just have a day.
I like it. I'll be tailing your Montgomery as well. So we got Achane, Hampton, and Montgomery. Let's do Thursday Night Football. For those of you watching on Thursday, this is for you. For those of you that aren't watching anymore, you can go and spend the rest of the time, or you can go look and see if we were right or not. Before we do that, smash the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to our new YouTube channel, NTH Sports Picks. And we're in October, so our prices are up. $99.99 a month. $29.99 a week. Get in. Best live bettors in the business, and we broadcast live and bet every NFL game live on the NTH Sports Picks channel. We'll be on Thursday night, Sunday, all 3 slates, and Monday as well. What do you got for Thursday Night Football coming up this evening with the Rams, the Niners?
Man, in my opinion, this is a really ugly game to bet on just because of what's going on the San Fran side. In your head, that's going to tell you, okay, no Pearsall, no Jennings. Brock Purdy's out, back to Mac Jones. Mac Jones' only thing he's got now is CMC because we've talked about it for 2 weeks. If they're getting to 250 yards, those guys were going over their props, CMC, Pearsall, even Jennings. Do we really think like the likes of Demarcus Robinson, Kendrick Bourne are going to absorb that volume and put up those numbers? Do we think Tungus or Farrell is going to be able to do it? And at what point do they go, all right, CMC, like this game's kind of gone. We don't want to get you hurt and add you to the laundry list of players we're missing. You're going to go sit down. So I really don't want to do anything on the San Fran side. And then it's the game of how fast does LA get up and run away with this? So I think the simplest way to bet it, I think Kyron finds the end zone. He's found it 3. He found it twice against them once in another game. He had 100 yards in his 3rd game against them. Didn't find the end zone there. I think he finds the end zone here early, maybe twice. A touchdown and the Rams money line pair is minus 110. I'm getting in with that and I'm getting out.
I like it. I disagree with how you think the game is going to go tonight, but I like the thought process there. If you think that CMC is going to have to take a seat, I mean, I almost feel like he gets 15 carries as quickly as possible so that they don't have to throw the football too much with Mac Jones. They're completely depleted at wide receiver. Something, though, with this series tells me it's going to be closer than we all think. They're very familiar with each other. But Mac Jones, no Pearsall, no Jennings. They got a lot of issues on the offense.
And Sean McVay isn't one of these coaches that's going to look at all that and try and get cute. Like, you know where their offense is. Man up the guys on the outside. They're not threats. And load the box to where, regardless if CMC is going to run a little out route or if he's going to try and run the ball, there's just too many bodies there.
The last 4 games these teams have played, 7, 1, 3, and 6 were the margins in those 4 games.
I would love to know the injury statuses. I would guarantee there's never.
Well, I'll tell you what the injury status is. The Niners are always injured, so they probably had nobody. They probably didn't even have Chris McCaffrey. It's amazing. In the last matchup in a 12-6 game, Kyron still went for 108 yards.
Yeah.
You got to be on Kyron. I'm going to go on the other side. I already gave this out on Nuke the Picks, but I'm going with a Devontae Adams touchdown tonight, plus 125. So him and Amon-Ra tied for the most targets in the end zone, tied for the most targets inside the 5. Devontae's right up at the top in red zone targets. He's just fed the ball. The problem is he hasn't caught many yet. Not a lot at all. But this is the night. Devontae's getting in the end zone. So why am I not going with his yards? The hamstring's a little bit gimpy. And while I do think he could break a big one, I just want to play it safe. And if you're going to give me plus money on Devontae Adams to get in the box, given his usage in the end zone, we're not just talking red zone targets because that gives you from the goal line to the 20. We're talking end zone targets. This guy leads the league with Amon-Ra. Inside the 5, leads the league with Amon-Ra. And among the league leaders right at the top in the red zone as well, it's Devontae Adams touchdown tonight, buddy. That's what I'm going. Now, I do want to build a quick interception parlay with you. I'm going to give you some names, and I'm not going Dylan Gabriel because I want to see this kid first. Geno Smith's got to be a part of it, right? Every week.
Geno looks bad.
So last week, the three guy parlay I had was Geno, Browning, and Lawrence. And I want to go back to that at plus 359. Now, Browning's coming off a massive, 3 interception game?
Browning stinks.
Is he going to play it safe and not throw an interception just like Geno did after throwing his 3 interception game? Geno can't help but turn the ball over. You're right. Browning stinks. And Trevor Lawrence throws a lot of interceptions. The matchup is not good for him to not throw an interception. So if you want to throw a little quarter unit on something this week, Geno Smith, Browning, Lawrence, plus 359 on Hard Rock. You might actually, and I add a little boost there so I could get it, but you might actually get that on a book that's closer to 400. So I just went to Hard Rock.
You didn't test out Cooper Rush.
What's that?
Surprised you didn't test out Cooper Rush in the interception
parlay. Rush too? Do I need to add him?
I don't hate him. I'll tell you another one I don't hate because I think he's going to get shell-shocked by the defense when he sees it on the field.
Who?
Bo Nix.
Oh, I've got Nix on the list. You know what?
I think they're getting blown out, Holden.
I disagree with you. I actually think they keep this a closer game. They're going to lose, but they're going to keep it a close game. I'm with you on Bo Nix. I just don't know if I'm throwing him in the parlay. It might just be a one-off thing because he's even money basically.
Yeah. He might be just one we bet
alone. These INT guys in there, Tyler, is because I don't want to bet a minus 165.
Oh, no, I agree with you on that. Right? Yeah, you're not laying the juice on that.
Right. We always want to bet interceptions live, but I have found some patterns here where guys are throwing some interceptions. Let me find the best number here on Thursday. Actually, this number, cratered, dude. It's down to minus 139 from minus 129, which was the best. Bo Nix might have to go on the parlay, buddy.
Yeah, Bo Nix he's getting.
Do you want Cooper Rush?
I'm worried about Cooper Rush, but I think Bo Nix 100%.
All right, Nix. So we'll go Nix. We'll go Geno. Are you okay with Trevor Lawrence?
I'm fine with that.
Or Browning? Which one? Browning threw. I'm always a little hesitant for a guy to throw a pick after he throws 3 in a game.
We could take Browning out if you're that worried about him.
So Nix, Geno. Who would be the third guy? Trevor Lawrence, or would you want me to find somebody else for you?
We can leave Tito on there.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm going to do then. I'm going to go look it up. Let's just go. What's a good place to do interceptions? This will be great television.
DK's got plus 383 on that.
On Nix, Geno, and Lawrence?
Yep.
Okay. That'll be the show. That'll be the show interception prop, plus 383. I'll throw Nix in there, and we'll get that going as well. All right, buddy. Good stuff. Let's go. Thursday Night Football will be live, 8:10 Eastern Time, live betting the game. Tyler was hanging out with the crew all of Sunday. We got our 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock slate, live betting. Sunday night, live betting. Monday night, live betting. I actually like the Monday night game.
One last bet, Holden. I mean,
you got another one.
This is just a small same game parlay. It's either going to die on the first drive for San Fran, or you're going to have the Rams at plus 112 to just win the game. And it's just San Fran's first drive result in a punt, and the Rams win the game at plus 112. You either walk away from the first drive and you were holding a Rams plus 112 ticket, or you're going, that's already dead.
The only thing that bothers me about the first drives, and I think you're onto something here, is that they come out scripted. So like the best chance for a team to score in the game is going to be on their first drive.
No, I agree with you there. It's a short week. Guys are missing. how much time was actually there to script a first drive?
Okay. I hear you, buddy. I'm with you, and I like it. I'm not going to tail. That's the one thing I'm not tailing, but I'm rooting for you tonight.
Let's see what happens.
I hope you're right. In the next week
they just rolled out Scary Terry for week 5, so still no Terry McLaurin.
Oh boy, we didn't even talk about Puka. You can't even bet the guy now. It's amazing.
No, I mean, absolute stud. We're going to do a 95.5 though.
You can't. I mean, his number might be 100.
Does he probably go over? Yeah, but the game script could not go in his favor. He probably still goes over, but I would just rather not touch the 95.
I mean, I think if you're going to bet him, you got to bet as long as reception at this point. I am seeing a 93.5 on him though. That is, I mean, I saw it open at 92.
Is minus 160.
I know. We bet his 7 receptions 2 weeks ago, and then last week 8. And now it's gone. That's gone for as long as it takes. Longest reception.
What's him to have the most receiving yards, and just the Rams won the game?
Basically, a little under even money. I think Keg threw that out in a parlay today. To lead the game and receive. If you want to bet his receiving yards,
I think he's onto something there.
Because
a good way to do it.
Yeah, most receiving yards for Puka, that would probably be it, right? So even if he doesn't get to 90, he still has a shot at cash. Like, who's catching the passes tonight for the Niners? Tonjes, McCaffrey, Bourne.
What has Kendrick Bourne ever done? Like, has he ever crossed 60 yards in his career in a game? Demarcus Robinson's probably a deep ball or bust.
Yeah.
Juszczyk's going to catch a couple dump offs. Like, I just don't know where this offense comes from, Holden.
Most receiving yards, Puka minus 150. So if you want to do that, you just throw that with the Rams money line.
Literally the only worry there is Puka gets to say 70 and Devontae's lurking at like 60 with time left.
Well, I kind of like that Devontae at 4-1.
Maybe you just bet both of them and just cover yourself.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to go with what we
now
had.
From those two, I do not see CMC catching them. I just don't think they give him enough space.
Let's say they're on their 25, they dump it off. He takes the 75 yards. Now all of a sudden you're in for a 130-yard night.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't think he ever gets enough space to get that big play. Like, they're going to be on him.
Really interesting. Yeah, this was a fun one. I'm looking forward to it. Join us tonight on the live show, Thursday Night Football, 8:10 on the NTH Sports Picks channel. Make sure you are subscribed to that. Tyler, as always, thanks for hanging out, buddy. Love doing the show with you. Let's continue to be profitable. And as always,